Randall Smith, 2 Charles Claydon, 14 Micah Obiero, and 12 Alex Dyer, 4 Ashley Charles, 19 Olufella Olamola, and 7 Taryn Alarakia, 11 Tarvin Campbell. And the Charlton side will line up within goal number 1, Ashley Maynard Brewer. 2 making his debut for Charlton, Lloyd Jones, 5 Lucas Ness, 6 and captain Michael Hector, 7 Darling Jai Simi, 8 Panush Kamara also making his debut for the Addicts, 10 Scott Fraser. You've then got 14 Charlie Kirk, 16 Conor McReynolds, and 18 Mandela Egbo. That completes your lineup for the starting Charlton 11, and then, as I said, there'll be complete change of sides at some point during the game. We're sort of guessing around the 70-minute mark when the likes of, I'll list you the players that are currently on the bench. Harry Eisted, Terrell Thomas, George Dobson, Alfie May, Aaron Henry, Jack Payne, Therese Campbell, Corey Blackett-Taylor, Zach Mitchell, Deji Leroy, Nathan Asimwe and Karoy Anderson are all going to be part of that second 11 when they do take the pitch. We're guessing, as I said, around 70-odd minutes. Charlton in their now new home shirt and shorts and socks. Still no hint of what the away kit's going to be like. We wait with bated breath. All right, maybe I'm overselling it a little bit, but we know what the third kit is. The away kit is yet to be disclosed. I wonder when they'll do that. Wait a Millwall, maybe?
No, probably a bit later on.
Home to Aberdeen, being so wear red normally?
Probably first league match.
Dean Holden takes to the bench underneath us. And I'm not going to say this too loudly because I've said it twice already, but the rain just seems to have eased off a touch because it's been driving in at us, which is so you might see a few spots on the camera at some point, as well as that huge spider that's above your head, by the way, the camera, Matt the cameraman, just to let you know. That comes down, your life could be in danger, my friend. So if that makes an appearance, scream and run. There is a slight slope, I don't know if it's coming out on the picture, but a slight slope from left to right down towards where the Charlton fans are congregated on the way to our right hand side. And it looks like Charlton are going to attack that end in the first half.
Well, I think that pleases the Charlton fans are undercover to our right, because there's a majority of them that are that side and the Wealdstone fans are to our left, so I think Charlton have probably done their fans a favour there. But yeah, looking at Charlton today, Tel, we expect the 3-5-2 formation that we've seen in recent weeks in pre-season. An opportunity for Lloyd Jones, his first Charlton appearance. He'll be part of the back three, we think, starting on the right-hand side of the front, the back three, should I say, not front three, alongside Michael Hector and Lucas Ness. So opportunity for him there, and also Panush Kamara, likes to be referred to as Pan, so we'll try and get used to that. But it's an opportunity for him in the middle of midfield.
Well, we're underway here at Grosvenor Vale, and it is Wealdstone who have it at the back. Charlie Barker, a central of their back three, across to the right-hand side, and Cook. And to Charlie Barker, and Charlton try and press Wealdstone deep into their own half. Mundell Smith back to the keeper, sends it forward. Jones gets his first header of the game, header in the Charlton shirt, in fact, in a competitive game.
Up against former Addick as well, Charles Claydon. I think there was always going to be one favourite for that header, but it's added height to that Charlton back three. I thought on Tuesday we weren't the best, most convincing from defending set pieces, and having the height of Jones will help that, especially from attacking point of view as well. And Kamara as well is certainly a decent height.
Yeah, it's actually deceptive. I didn't quite realise till I saw him today just how tall he was. It's Fraser pressing Charles. Cook then gets the ball forward and he's looking for Claydon on this left-hand side. Egbo coming back to track him, but Claydon gets the better of that tussle. Into the box, ball across, headed away by Ness, and good work from Kamara. And that's what we hope to see a lot more of. Back to Egbo. Now Jones under pressure, gets the ball out to Kamara. He's got time to turn, trying to get the ball inside to Fraser, but it's taken a deflection. And they need Jones to deal with this. Might have run out of room on this Charlton right-hand side. He has. Thrown to the home side.
Yeah, we're going to expect Jones and Kamara to be a little bit rusty. Kamara's only had 45 minutes. Jones, this is his first appearance in pre-season.
It's a good header from Kamara out to Jai Simi, who tried to send Kirk on his way. And he might have another opportunity to do so here with Fraser to his outside. Cuts inside now. Kirk goes on the overlap inside to Kamara. He's got time to turn. Just robbed as he tried to do so, and Wealdstone will break. Hector trying to prevent Campbell from getting a shot away. Jones comes back to help out, and it's good defending between the pair of them. Tidy up. Charlton can bring it forward with Fraser.
I didn't hear a Charlton cry when Kamara had that in possession. There was no shout of the man behind him. He was unaware. And it was a decent break in the end. Well, it should have been a good break in the end, but Hector did well against Campbell to hold him up, and enough support came back for Charlton.
It's a good ball out to Kamara from Fraser, who's looking for Egbo on the right-hand side. Behind him is Jones. Making a run to the channel is Kanu, but ball didn't find him. Barker can tidy up for Wealdstone. I shouldn't have said about the rain. I knew I shouldn't have done it, because since I mentioned it, it seemed to have eased off. It's now driving right at us. It's great when you wear glasses. Should have them with built-in wipers, shouldn't I? Ball switched away to the right-hand side, and Cook. Back inside it comes. Charles switching it across here to Mundell Smith. Played ahead of him, but he's got space to run into over the halfway line. Now has to check back inside. Dyer. Charles back across to Cook once more. Charlton back in position behind the ball. Barker looks for options. Cook the only one available. So loose ball, can Kanu pick it off, and he's up against Barker. Kanu up to into the area, can't get a shot away. Barker comes back and makes the tackle. Charlton have a corner. It's good work from Kanu to put the pressure on in the first place, but they just couldn't get away from Barker.
Yeah, what's quite useful about this pre-season match, Tel, is that Wealdstone are playing with the same formation as Charlton in terms of a back three, two wing backs, so it's useful from Charlton from a defensive point of view and going forward as well to try and exploit the space. And so far the hosts are actually the team that's been having a little bit more of possession, but Charlton were patient in defence there, which were just following their men. There wasn't any sort of, it was quite good organisational at the back between Hector and Jones, but from a Charlton point of view, you don't mind the opposition having the ball as long as they're not doing anything with it. And Charlton did well to win the ball back.
The penalty area is absolutely smothered. The 6-yard box rather smothered with bodies as the ball comes in. Cook gets the header away from the McGrandles corner. So Egbo gets there before Campbell, but can only put it away for a goal kick. That 6-yard box was absolutely flooded with bodies.
Yeah, we talked about set pieces this pre-season, Tel, about Charlton looking to improve, and I think we'll see different ways of attacking them. We saw a lot of short corners on Tuesday night against Gillingham. I think today, should I say, going to see a little bit more route one into the box, trying to pick out, because it's a tall Charlton side this first at least 45, maybe 60 minutes.
Ball out here to Mundell Smith, being closed down by McGrandles. Gets the ball away. It's a good block from Jones. And McGrandles' final challenge to give the throw away. Taken quickly by the home side. Mundell Smith closed down by Kamara, but he's got away from those attentions and sends the ball forward, but Campbell just run too early. But it's a good ball, and he just held his run a little bit. He might have been in on the way.
Yeah, I think Charlton were quite well, definitely Hector. I'm not sure about Ness. We're confident that Campbell was offside, but you know, if you're the opposition, you'll be looking at that space between the right-sided centre-half and right wing-back, and then the opposite side, the left centre-half and the left wing-back. I think that's where the weakness for Charlton is still at the moment, getting used to this formation as the space out wide from a defensive point of view.
Hector goes for the big switch, looking for Giacimi, but he gets too much on that. It's coming up to 6 minutes gone in this first half, still 0-0 here. As Wealdstone builds from the back, Mundell Smith out here on the left-hand side. Company closing down. Back with the keeper. It's time to switch across to Cook on the right. Charles coming in support. Being pressed back by Fraser. Barker. Clayton showing short for him, but almost picked off by Kamara. And he'll be hunting it down again. Mundell Smith forced to go back to his keeper. Sends it forward. Jones, his time underneath this, heads it forward. Wealdstone back in possession. Alarakia back to Olamola. Alarakia goes for a 1-2 and he's checked off by Jones. Easy free kick for the referee, that one.
Yeah,
probably would have been a booking in league match, I suspect.
You have to give credit to the host so far. So they played some good football. They're trying to be patient. Nice little combinations on this left-hand side. Charlton defensively still not looking convincing for me. They're struggling to push up as a unit. There's getting a lot of midfielders for Wealdstone are just dropping deep and finding space at the moment.
There's an example of it. There's an attack down there, left-hand side, but the ball in field is easily cut out by Egbo.
That's a prime example. They had 3 players over on their left-hand side, our right-hand side. There's no communication for someone to drop in. Egbo should be screaming at Kamara just to slot in and help.
Obiero it was who just cut in, but Charlton in the end deal with it. We have it back again with Jones on the right-hand side. He's asking Egbo to come short. Egbo obliges, but he's been forced backwards by Clayton, and Clayton takes the ball off him. So now it's Alarakia into Olamola, and it's across on the right-hand side with Cook. Barker's ball to Dyer. Still in a little bit of trouble, and Khan is trying to put pressure on Barker. There's Kirk now with Cook. Ball forward. Ness battling against Olamola, illegally according to the referee. It's Barker again. Charlton with 4 players looking to press this. We've done well to avoid that initially. Possible loose pass that Kamara picks off, does well. Egbo trying to find Kanu, who's deflected into the path of Fraser, looking for an outlet, given to him by Ness. A touch forward to McGrandles. He's got space, McGrandles. To his left is Kirk. Jaisimi on the overlap. Jaisimi, first time for him to attack that left-hand side. Back to Ness. Fraser. Kirk making a run over the top, but the ball cut out before he can find him. Nice run, good idea, just the execution wasn't quite there. And Wealdstone looked to bring it away, send it long instead, looking for that left-hand channel. Campbell trying to run into it. Jones will hopefully allow this to run out of play, and he does. So just over 9 minutes gone, still 0-0 here at Grove de Belle.
Yeah, Charlton looking to maintain a bit of control in this match now. The opening 10 minutes, the hosts have been the side that have enjoyed more possession. Haven't seen a lot of McGrandles, Kamara, Fraser on the ball yet for Charlton. Example again of Wealdstone pushing up well and making life difficult for the Addicts. I'd like to see us do that a little bit more to Wealdstone when they're in possession now.
Maybe some measure of control from this point forward as Ness brings it forward for the Addicts. Ball up to Kirk's feet, little touch into Fraser's path, and Fraser trying to get the better of Charles. Kirk makes the run into the box. It comes. Barker just cuts it out before it can get to Kanu. That's good movement down there. Charlton left-hand side. Can they keep the pressure on now? McGrandles back to Jones. Again, Ness is inside, as is Fraser. It's out here to McGrandles. Egbo ahead of him, making the run. Clayton, well, we know he's quick, but Egbo almost got the better of him, but give credit to Charles Clayton for getting back there. And, creating the situation where he gets fouled. Wealdstone have a free kick in their left-hand corner.
Yeah, his formation suits Charles Clayton. I felt for Charlton last season when he was playing as a full-back and having to defend more than attack. It just didn't suit his game, but showed good pace there, and it was a good 50-50, did well for his side. Again, maybe the ball to Egbo wasn't the greatest. It was behind him. He had to cut back to get it.
Good pressure from Kano, and Mundell Smith forces him backwards. Oh, it's a loose ball backwards to Barker. No, I'm not sure he would have thanked his keeper for that. Wealdstone do well to get out of it. And the ball forward up to Campbell. Hector puts him under pressure, but he gets it back to Charles. He works it across to Cook on the right-hand side. Obiero further out right. Jaisimi having to come back. That's a good sliding challenge from Jaisimi. Before Obiero can stretch his legs and get away. Barker now for the home side, out to Dyer, has dropped short to cover off the forward run. Alarakia back again to Dyer. Now Barker once more. Cook forward to Campbell. Just took a deflection off of Jaisimi, but Campbell has it. He's trying to switch it across here to Clayton. He might catch up with this as well, Charles Clayton. Nobody close enough to him, so he's got time. Charles Clayton to drill it across. And as a header comes in, back over from the opposite side. from Maynard Brewer, but wide of the post.
Yeah.
The first real header in anger towards goal comes from the home side.
Yeah, again, concerns over Charlton's shape there, Tel. From a defensive point of view, there's so much space between defence and midfield. Charlton are pressing up, but the defence are dropping deep, so that's what's allowing pockets of space for Campbell to drop off. We're seeing a lot of Charles in midfield as well for Wealdstone, and Charlton as a unit collectively haven't looked comfortable so far in this match. There's a couple of debutants out there. Hector hasn't had a lot of minutes. Just like to see a little bit more aggression. That's better from Jones.
Might run through to Kirk, and it has. Kirk. Little touch back to Fraser. Kirk again on the left-hand side, taking on it Cook. Can Fraser benefit from that? He can. Behind him is Giacimi. A little bit tight in space, but he does well to work the ball across to McGrandles. Hector now. He's got Jones to his right. Jones with Kamara inside if he wants him. Jones carries on. Little back flick into Kanu. Kamara now. McGrandles in support. So I'll just slow it down a little bit. McGrandles again. He's got Jones still out here on the right hand side, and Egbo's further right. Jones picks out Egbo. Jones again. Once more McGrandles in support. Wealdstone with everybody behind the ball currently as Charlton try and pick their way through. McGrandles thought about sending it long, instead comes out into Egbo. Kamara making a run inside of him. Kamara, can he use his footwork to get past both Clayton and Dyer? The answer to that is no. Clayton clears it away. Charlton will have a throw. Coming up to 14 minutes, 0-0 here. With Lloyd Jones sending Kano away down the left-hand side. A hint of handball, but I don't think you're going to get that in a friendly. Wealdstone clear it forward, up towards Campbell. Jones does well to step in as well. Now McGrandles for Charlton. Oh, goes past Dyer, who brings him to the ground. Nearly felt that, McGrandles. Giacimi on the left-hand side, looking to take on Obiero. Instead, goes back inside to Ness. Worried about McGrandles after that collision. Egbo for Charlton, sending Kamara away down the right-hand side. No offside flag. Egbo back in support. McGrandles runs inside, leaving Jones free. Jones looking for an option. Lovely run from Fraser, but the ball just can't find him. Now Clayton going to have to tidy this up. And Mundle-Smith likewise. Ball into the feet of Charles, back to Mundle-Smith, who gets it away. Hector wins the header at the expense of Wealdstone throw.
Yeah, Charlton just growing into the game a little bit more now, Tel. A little bit more possession, being a bit more aggressive in the challenge, and everyone pushing up a little bit more. I think one of the issues as well is Charlie Kirk's not an out-and-out striker. So what's ended up happening is Kirk's drifting over to the left-hand side so much when Charlton in possession that Kanu's completely isolated up top. Kirk needs a little bit of reminder just to stay on the shoulder. We saw Tyrese Campbell score a goal by playing off the shoulder of defence in midweek. Kirk needs to drift inside more and allow that left-hand channel for Giacimi to go down and not take up that space.
As the rain drives down again here in Ruislip, Charlton have possession on the right-hand side with Jones. Into the feet of Kanu. Does well to hold off his man and get it back to Jones. Ball inside to McGrandles, a bit of a hospital one. Charlton have lost possession as a result. And on his way is Alarakia. Goes past Hector to the left edge of the box. Ball into the box, headed away by Ness. Important header as well, and Giacimi can tap it into the feet of Kamara. Like he was fouled there, Kamara, and the referee concurs. Will be a free kick to the Addicts. Halfway inside our own half.
This is certainly a tough opening 45 minutes for Lloyd Jones in pre-season. Out on that right-hand side, everything from Wilson's coming down the left. You've not had a lot of minutes in pre-season. It's against players who have. It's difficult to maintain. And
it'd be interesting to see whether Dean Alder gives him the 70. Same with Kamara, or makes a change a little bit earlier in those instances. It's Hector for the Addicts. Charlton captain for this afternoon. Kamara back inside to his captain. Attempted switch out to Fraser, finds him. So Fraser having to deal with a bouncing ball, loses out to Charles. Obiero and Charles combine. Back with Charlie Barker. He's his keeper, who's almost certainly going to give this to Mundell Smith. Carnu trying to chase him down. As does Carnu, and now Kirk will look interested, but keeper swings it across to Cook on the right-hand side. Fraser prevents that progress. He's back with Barker. Runners here, Clayton. Made his run and timed it well. So the ball out to him was skipped off this, what is now quite wet surface, and waiting for a Charlton throw, but just momentarily there. Campbell was offside, and Clayton certainly wasn't, and Egbo let him go. Yeah,
better ball. Clayton's through, and that's not the first time that Clayton's been completely free on this side. I'm not sure Egbo's aware that Clayton's there. It's Egbo's instructions to play a little bit further forward, in which case Jones should be dropping off and almost becoming a right back in that situation. Just defensively, Charlton at the moment, it's early days in pre-season,
but
that's
the point, isn't it? I mean, obviously Jones
got to work better as a unit.
Jones and Egbo won't have had too much time together. Charlton will have a throw. Plenty of instructions being barked from both sides on the pitch. Underneath us, there's the Grandals. Gets it inside to Ness. Jaisimi out on the left-hand side. Can he get this under control? He can, but he's just stalled the move a little bit, but combines with Fraser. Now Kamara in the centre circle can try and bring it away for Charlton. Good footwork from Panush Kamara. Releases Kirk on the left-hand side. Kirk. Ball back into Kamara, trying to side-foot it in. Can Carnu finish it? No, Kamara can't. Now can Jones finish on his debut?
Brilliant.
Yes, he can. Excellent finish from Charlton's new number 2. It was a move started at the back, really. Jaisimi did well to combine with Fraser. And then Panush Kamara, the footwork from Charlton's new boy was a delight to watch. Combining with Kirk before the ball pinging around the edge of that 6-yard box, dropped to Jones, who used his own delightful footwork to finish and give Charlton the lead.
Well, what really pleased Dean Holden was the amount of bodies that got into the box, one of them being one of your centre-halves who gets the goal. His brilliant footwork to beat his man. Got to give credit to Kamara as well. He made that move. He received the ball with 3 players around him. He drove forward. He wasn't afraid to take on the Wealdstone defence out to the left-hand side. It was a nice little cross. The ball ricocheted back to Kamara. I think it was Barker with a brilliant block. Comes out to Jones, and a lovely touch with his right foot back inside and dinks it over the goalkeeper. We talked about maybe Charlton so far defensively not looking settled so far in this match, but that move and the fact there were so many bodies in the box will really please Dean Holden.
What might also please him is just a glimpse of just what Panush Kamara is going to bring to this side. Jones just goes a little too hard on Alarakia. Wealdstone will have a free kick, but yeah, I mean we remember Kamara when he played against us, just what his ball control skills were like, and showed them to good effect. A little cameo of it right there.
And he didn't get the goal, but what would please him is that he followed the run. Yeah. He didn't just stand still, wanted it on the edge of the box. He followed the run and almost got himself a goal as well.
Jones trying to send Kamara on his way again, and he is corner of the penalty area. Will he lob the keeper? He does, and will this be the second? It is. Lovely finish from Panush Kamara. He was found by Lloyd Jones on this right-hand side. Over the top and into space. And we mentioned before about Charlton being exposed when Clayton goes forward. Well, the reverse is also true. There was nobody around to stop Kamara heading towards the right corner of the penalty area, and as the keeper came out, simple lob to give Charlton a 2-0 lead.
Well, those 2 minutes give you a little bit of excitement, don't they, Tell? In terms of, we just spoke about the ability he has on the ball in the middle of midfield with players around him. This time it's the run, the movement off the ball's brilliant. It's a lovely ball forward. I didn't see who it was, but it was a lovely ball forward over the top to him. Goalkeeper takes a chance. It was Jones, a lovely ball forward. Goalkeeper making the run out. Didn't really need to do it. He committed. It's a lovely finish, lovely lob over the top.
Just for a second there, you didn't know if it had the pace to get into that right-hand corner of the net. Charlie Barker was trying his best to get there, but he couldn't catch up with the ball. Now Wealdstone will break themselves, and it's Campbell in on goal and drives it towards the right-hand corner. It looks like Minor Brewham has saved that. whether it was going in or not. Certainly Maynard Brewer getting the plaudits. Campbell decided to take it early. I thought that might have been a mistake, but it needed the save from Maynard Brewer to stop Wealdstone getting back in the game.
Yeah, and it was just a hopeful ball over the top, and that's again going to be the concern from a Charlton point of view, is that when Wealdstone have had glimpses, it has come from simple play, really. It's not been well crafted or a bit of skill that gets past the player.
Corner taken short. Charles cross into the middle. Riviera with a shot blocked by Ness. And, was that a handball? Yeah, I think it's been given as a handball. But Riviera with the shot. Lovely block from Ness, throwing himself in front of that. Charlton have a free kick. I didn't see the actual handball incident. So Charlton have the free kick. It's now with Lloyd Jones back to the free kick taker, Michael Hector. Grandel's trying to make space in the middle. He's out now to Ness, just seeing further left and forced backwards. It's a good turn inside. It's a lovely touch to Fraser. Kamara making a run, has his Egbo on this right-hand side. Egbo, chest control into the run of Kamara. Back to Egbo. Thought about lifting it across straight away, but Charlton preferring to play it through. Jones and Kamara combining against a lovely touch again for Kamara to go past Dyer. He's back with Jones inside to Fraser. Fraser looking up again, thought about sending it into the middle, thought better of it. Jones once more out to Egbo. Again looking for runners. Kamara, just slipped in the surface. That's unfortunate. Wealdstone don't really capitalise on that actually. Long ball forward look for Campbell. Nowhere near on the money. Charlton have it back.
Yeah, it's taken about 22 minutes, 23 minutes for Wealdstone to really look unsettled, and the two goals, I mean the second one in particular, just coming out of not a lot, just a ball forward. Suddenly now it's Charlton who look a bit more settled in possession and growing in confidence.
Speaking of 22-23 minutes, it's about time I hand it over to Mr. Greg Stubley to lead commentate.
Was a lovely ball
on goal.
Lovely ball over the top from Scott Fraser into Charlie Kirk. The ball just fell down awkwardly for the Charlton man, but the Addicts still in possession, and thank you Tell as Kamara, goal scorer of the second goal for the Addicts. Both him and Jones, first appearance in a Charlton shirt on the score sheet. Now Conor McGrandles out to Manny Egbo for a potential 1-2. Instead the ball is back with McGrandles. Inside to Hector, out to the right to Lloyd Jones. Egbo again, lovely first time ball inside to Kamara, driving towards the Wealdstone penalty area. Onto his left foot, Kamara will go for goal, trying to cut it across. Didn't quite get the execution on that shot.
Yeah, it's a poor challenge from Clayton. I don't know if it's one he just couldn't stop himself because of the surface, but Egbo was looking for the 1-2. And Clayton just ploughed in through. Good to see Egbo up and moving. Clayton actually looks like it might have come off worse. But yeah, it was a deliberate body check to stop Egbo going for the return. Almost worked in our favour as Kamara almost worked space for himself.
Time for a brief drink as Egbo received, well, he didn't actually end up with treatment. He's back on to his feet, and Wealdstone will have the goal kick.
Of course, they would have trained with each other, Manny Egbo and Charles Clayton, last season.
Goalkeeper for Wealdstone is a trialist, the first trialist of the day, as Charles with the ball back to his goalkeeper, just about got there, up long towards Campbell. Good pressure from Jones, forces a mistake, and now Kamara drifts past Dyer and out to the left to Kirk. First time into Fraser. Scott Fraser with the chance, and Charlton have a third. It's lovely build-up play from the Addicts. Ball forward, finding Fraser. It was by Kirk. And Fraser clinical with the finish. Charlton make it free.
I think from a manager's perspective and coach's perspective, Dean Oldham would love that goal. The movement, the incisive passing, especially on that left-hand side, opened up Wealdstone. And there's a cracking finish from Scott Fraser. And I think out of the 3 goals, that will have Dean Oldham smiling, that one, because the speed in which we passed, the speed in which we went from front to back was a delight. And that a lovely finish from Scott Fraser as well. So from what was looked like quite tough opening 10 minutes.
It's an awkward first 20 minutes, wasn't it?
has turned into a very promising 3-0 scoreline.
Charlton with early pressure from the restart. I think there's been a few instructions marshalled down to Charlton's midfield. I'd say the last 10 or so minutes, that midfield's been a lot more active. Kamara been at the heart of that. The pressure's been a lot better as the ball's back with the Wealdstone goalkeeper as a trialist, and Hector can only head it backwards, so it will be a throw to the hosts.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of a warning, when Wealdstone do change their side, there's a potential for 6 more trialists to come on, so can make life interesting.
It's easier to say just trialist than an actual player's name in that instance. Here is Charles, inside to Charlie Barker. It's a name you'll all recognise and a face you'll know. Barker with the diagonal ball. Jarasimi heads it away. Wealdstone will have possession with Dyer forward towards Campbell. Ness for company, and Charlton have been a bit better in being aggressive from the back, and it's getting tight to Campbell. This ball's with Barker. Good block from Egbo. So it was Mundell Smith look to go forward. Mundell Smith looking for support. Looking for Charles, who gets a little bit lucky with the dropping ball. It's an obvious handball by Jones, who surely would have been booked by now if it was a league game. They take the free kick quickly. It comes to Kirk, who spots the goalkeeper off his line, and he did well to get back in the end. Not a bad effort at all from Kirk, who's been lively last 10 minutes. A lovely assist for Fraser.
Had the wind been blowing in the opposite direction, he might have actually sailed over the keeper's head, mate. The wind just held it up there. Good thinking, though. Quick thinking as well to pounce on the mistake from Wealdstone.
Charles switches it across, and here's Barker under pressure from Kanu, who's doing a lot of the hard work up top with his pressing. Forces a slightly loose ball from the goalkeeper, which Jarasimi can't control. So Wealdstone will have a throw-in just on the halfway line. It's Wealdstone 0, Charlton 3 is the scoreline at the moment, just coming up to 30 minutes. It's been an horrendous day for weather, but those who have travelled here are happy to see three strikes from Charlton so far. This ball's with Charles out to the right hand side, and Cook, the captain, backwards to Charles, who looks for the long diagonal ball towards Claydon. It's an intelligent little header forward, looking for Olamola. Main operator does well to gather.
Just checking the flight path at Heathrow, because if this wind goes up anymore, we might be joining them.
Take a lot.
Well, especially with our weight in here, that's a good point.
Hector inside to Kamara, backwards to Michael Hector. He was left out of the match against Gillingham. There was just a little injury picked up against Leighton Orient, but he's okay to get minutes today. Hector out to the left to Ness, and backwards to Fraser. Side to Hector again. 1-2 with Kamara. Now the pressure that we saw in the opening 10 minutes from Wealdstone has slightly dropped off, although just as I say that, Olamola applies a little bit more on Hector. Charlton do well to work the way out of that. It comes to Kamara. Drifts inside. Out to the left to Fraser, who's in space. Charlton's midfield's combining nicely. Out to Jarasimi. He's in an offside position there, which has frustrated Dean Holden immensely.
I'm not sure Jarasimi agrees that he was offside, but yeah, if he was, and looking across the line, it's almost sinful.
Mundell Smith back to his goalkeeper, and across Jarasimi. We'll get that under control. Inside to Kirk, looks for the 1-2. Kirk turns instead, looks for Jarasimi now, has continued his run. Jarasimi off the post, comes down to Kamara, lays it off for McGrandles. Back to Kamara with the cross. Jarasimi the header, but it's at the goalkeeper. Charlton close to a fourth.
Yeah, well, he was trying to make amends, Jarasimi, maybe for being offside. Almost did so as well. Lovely combination with Kirk on that left-hand side, and thundered it against the post. And then there was a good header when he came back in as well, but straight down the keeper's throat, sadly.
Ball up towards Campbell. It's a nice turn, slightly loose touch, and Jones doesn't take a risk. I think in a normal game he might have clattered into Campbell there. The referee now gives the free kick.
I also think it was one of those tackles that if you make, great, but if you don't, there's a chance of injury, and bearing in mind he's just coming back from an injury, quite wise not to try it, I think.
Comes inside with Dyer. Good pressure again from Charlton to win the ball back. Here comes Kamara, trying to poke it forward towards Kirk. The ball ricochets back. Alarakia is forward to Campbell. Maynard Brewer does get there first and deflects the ball back off of Campbell. That was an opportunity for Wealdstone.
Yeah, it was. And Maynard Brewer was just hesitated slightly when the ball was pushed through, and that meant he was just there a little late when he did finally decide to go. Did well, of course, to win the goal kick, but would have been a little bit more comfortable had he'd gone the first time. And that all came about because Kamara just had a choice of passes and he went for the slightly more difficult one and it didn't come off.
Hector out to left to Jayasemian. Now Lucas Ness forward to Fraser, who's made a good run. He's able to turn as well. Fraser, ball forward, just takes a deflection. The challenge came in from Cook. Alarakia out to the right-hand side. Now Cook inside to Barker. Good first touch away from Kanu. Alarakia again. Berrio inside to Charles. Barker. It's a decent ball to find. Berrio's got space to turn, drives forward, well cut off by Michael Hector, and Charlton look to potentially break as the ball's with Kamara. Kamara threads the ball forward towards Kanu, out towards the left-hand side, held up by Barker. Kanu thinks about a shot, takes a deflection, and Charlton will have the corner.
It's good to see Kanu just trying it with his left foot. When he first got the ball, wanted a shape to get onto his right, but Barker had that covered off, so rather than holding on to the ball, he tried it with his left. Barker got the deflection.
The Addicts will have a corner. Looks like McGrandles is going over to take. The last one we saw about 20 bodies inside the 6-yard box.
It certainly was. There wasn't a lot of room left in that 6-yard box once they were all in there, and they're doing it again. I'm guessing this is a ploy. I'm just not entirely sure what sort of ploy it is.
You've got to look at the space at Kamara on the edge of the box here.
Yeah, that's a good call.
McGrandles trusts this pass, and I think Campbell's spotted that and is slowly making his way as the ball's gone short to Kirk. McGrandles again will cross, and it deflects off the back of Dyer. Move stalled a little bit for Charlton. McGrandles goes back to Egbo on the halfway line. Egbo forward towards Jayasemi. That ball doesn't have enough legs, and Jayasemi fouls Barker, and it's a waste for Charlton. Yeah, not quite got their set pieces right at the moment, going forward.
See what they're trying to do with Kirk coming short, taking everybody by surprise potentially, and then McGrandles, then you'd expect them to knock it back in when there's a little bit more space in that 6-yard box, but his attempted cross didn't quite get past Dyer.
Ball forward will be picked off by Egbo. Kamara touches down to McGrandles, who looked for the 1-2. That was a bit ambitious. Good pressure from Fraser, wins the ball back for Charlton. Kamara again, forward towards Kanu. Kanu leaves it for Kamara, who strikes. It's Mundell Smith. It'll be a Charlton throw, but Kamara again is getting in places where Charlton will be so encouraged to see in that final third.
His movement's exciting, isn't it? It's just...
it's his energy.
Yeah, it's just a wonder to watch. And if we can harness that through the season, it'll be similar to the sort of excitement we got from Jezreel Saki.
Egbo gets the ball back from Kamara. Finds McGrandles. Inside to Jones, and now Hector. Across to Ness. Now Kirk, he turns. Inside to Fraser, and now Ness again. Short ball to Fraser, it's a bit too short. Charlton concede possession. It's a lovely first-time ball over the top by Charles that will find Claydon. Inside it is to Olamola. Ball across is cleared away by Hector. Wealdstone trying to get back into this game, have a corner.
You can see that would be a weapon that Wealdstone will probably use a lot through the season, is that pace of Claydon on the left-hand side to get beyond and into the channels. I should imagine in the conference that will be a weapon that could get them quite a bit of success.
Charles to take the corner. Fighting towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Hector. Comes out to Dyer, headers down to Barrio. Just want to hold up possession. That's a loose ball from Dyer that McGrandles tried to get to but couldn't quite. Olamola inside. Looks for the 1-2 with Dyer, continues his run. Jones steps in and does well to get it to Jayasimi. He's an option, does well to find Kirk on the left-hand side for Charlton, who've pushed players on. Kirk opts to pass to Jones, out to the right now to Manny Egbo. Jayasimi makes a run ahead of him. Egbo will cut back and find McGrandles. Side to Kirk. McGrandles again. Cross to Ness. Kamara now on the left-hand side for Charlton, who's been busy in the first 39 minutes in a Charlton shirt. Egbo with the cross, cleared away. Jayasimi will leave this for McGrandles. Now, Scott Fraser. Ness inside to Fraser, and Charlton will just opt to keep possession. Hector out to the right to Jones, and back inside to Hector. Out to the right to Jones, who's got space to advance forward for Charlton. No one really inside, so goes right to Egbo. Kamara is behind. Jones continues his run in the penalty area. Egbo does well with a little bit of movement. There's a good challenge actually from Mundell Smith to win the ball back. For a minute it looked like Egbo was going to get away from the 2 players he had against him. Olamola clears forward. Hector does well just to nudge it out of play. Wealdstone will have the throw. It's been a half.
Good recycling, good possession from Charlton, but a little disappointed that nothing came from the end of it. Give credit to Wealdstone for their defending it though.
Alarakia got beyond McGrandles initially, but then Fraser came back to help, drift away with the ball. McGrandles ended up fouling. He didn't really need to.
No, exactly, I think Charlton would have been away had he not.
Charles in possession, backwards to Barker. Looks for the diagonal ball out towards Claydon again, who's onside, controls down in towards Campbell. Couldn't quite get to the ball as Ness came back. Maynard Brewer clears it away. Charles controls. Wealdstone go all the way back to Cook. Inside to Dyer. Charles again. Barrio, good challenge from Ness, but Wealdstone still have possession. Barker. And Arakia. Now Mundell Smith again looking for that option of Claydon. Maynard Brewer comes out of his goal and clears it away.
Not getting that ball back. That's in the phone mast, that one. I don't know how much electricity is in that phone mast, but I'm not going to get it.
You'll do well to get down from this ladder, Till.
That's a good point.
Claydon with the throw. Olamola saves the ball again, but Charlton will break it away with Carnu. It's a challenge from Barker, which is judged to have been a foul, which looks slightly harsh in truth.
I don't think it was him who actually made the foul. It was his co-defender. There's a combination of the two of them. I'm not sure that Barker's challenge was the one that was penalised there.
It hasn't stopped raining, apart from the 2 minutes that Tell said it stopped raining.
Yeah, I know I should keep my mouth shut, sorry.
Since we got here, which was about 12 o'clock. Pitch has held up okay so far. Charlton work the ball back to Ness, inside to Hector and out to Fraser. That's good play from the Addicts, and out to left to Jayasimi. They can mount an attack. Jayasimi cuts inside. Little back heel will find Fraser with the cross, looking for Carnu. Barker does well to watch it all the way and clears it. Had a play for a Charlton throw, quickly taken. Here's Charlie Kirk. back towards Hector. Out right to Egbo. Kamara makes a run down the line. Instead, he'll go backwards to Jones. And now Hector again. Looks for the crossfield ball towards Giacimi. Mario under pressure from Giacimi, controls and does well. Does well to win his side of throw. We've got about 2.5 minutes before the end of this first half. We imagine there will be a couple of changes for Charlton at half-time. I think Kamara and Jones are only going to play 45 today, although the way Kamara's going, he could play the full 90 and more. It's Mundell-Smith. Side to Dyer. He'll flick, will find Alarakia backwards to Barker. Out to the right to Cook. Wealdstone captain will drift forward into space. Alarakia, number 7, will control. Out to left to Mundell-Smith. Overhit pass will go out of play. Charlton will have the goal kick, and to be fair to the Addicts, the last 20 minutes defensively have looked a little bit more organised, a little bit more settled. Not allowing so much space in that final third.
I think Dean Oldham will be more than reasonably pleased, I suppose. I mean, the opening 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, Wealdstone put us under a decent amount of pressure and had a good percentage of the play as well. A breakaway now because they're back in possession.
It's a loose ball, Campbell. Out to the right too. Alarakia with the cross. Jones does well to read that and heads it away. Good control from Kirk, who's had a lively half as well for Charlton. Ball up towards Kanu, who's a decent one. Kanu does well to hold it up enough. Finds Fraser. Kamara and Egbo ahead of him. Here is Kamara. Man behind him as well to find Jones. Kamara broke through his first club was Dulwich Hamlet. So these sort of grounds aren't too unfamiliar with Kamara. Initially started as a striker and developed more into a box-to-box midfielder. Here's Ness on the left-hand side. The cross is blocked. John will have the throw. Starting to see some tiredness now from players like Kamara.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lung burster run that Kanu did really well to hold the ball up. It just didn't sit right for him to get the pass away.
Grounders has been taken out off the ball. Referee will play on. Zegbo taking on Claydon. Cross comes off of Claydon. Charlton will have the corner just before half-time here. Dean Oldham's asking to score a goal. Should be nice. A half that for the first 18 minutes looked like it's going to be really awkward for Charlton. You have to give the Addicts credit. As soon as they got that first, it's been more control for sure.
Yeah, referee just having a quiet word with Olomola. He felt that McGrandle certainly felt the challenge, just on the back of his heel, which is always a painful one. But he's going to be fit enough to take the corner.
And Charlton again, crowd the 6-yard box. Kirk comes short. McGrandle's looked towards the edge of the box instead, but Kamara wasn't there. He wasn't free, and now Wealdstone will look to break. As Campbell, first time ball, looking for Claydon. Maynard Brewer comes out, slides. It's a brilliant challenge from the Charlton goalkeeper to conclude the first 45 minutes here. As at half-time, it's Wealdstone 0, Charlton 3. Goals coming from Lloyd Jones after 19 minutes on his Charlton debut. After great work from Kamara, ball one left-hand side, Kirk with the cross. Jones showed composure to finish, and then Kamara, who was energetic and bright in that first 45 minutes. Really encouraging performance from him, with a wonderful goal set through by Jones, chipped it over the goalkeeper, and Charlton made it free when Kirk did well to find Fraser, and a lovely finish. And at half-time here is Wealdstone 0, Charlton 3. Myself and Tel will go for a break, but we'll leave you with the highlights here on Charlton TV. And we'll try and find some dry shelter, I think, Tel. We'll see you in about 10 minutes on Charlton TV.
What are they saying, sorry?
First time into Fraser. He's got Fraser the chance of Charlton the third. It's not very good. Full forward, finding Fraser. Fraser. Clinical with the finish.
Yeah.
That's for Darcy now. It's continuing his run. Darcy! He's down to Kamara. Leaves it off from the bridles. Back to Kamara with the cross. Darcy with a header.
Welcome back to Charlton TV. Here it's Wealdstone 0, Charlton 3 at half-time. It's pre-season friendly. We do believe there were some issues going around before kick-off getting into Charlton TV, and this match is now on YouTube. So welcome along to any YouTubers who's not used to seeing a bit of live Charlton action. We hope you enjoyed that first half. If you did miss any of the first half, well, Charlton are 3-0 up here as we're about to start the second half. Goals from Lloyd Jones on debut, Anush Kumar on debut as well, and Scott Fraser. Difference between the two sides. Alongside me, Mr. Terry Smith. Until there's two changes to Charlton at half-time. Kamara and Jones going off, which is not a real surprise. Their first minutes in the Charlton shirt. They've been replaced by Deji, Alere and Aaron Henry. That's the Addicts. With the restart, back to Ashley Maynard-Burrett. Goes long towards Egbo, wins the header. To the arms, the Wealdstone goalkeeper. No changes to them as I can see as yet. Might actually be one, which we'll come to shortly, as Wealdstone will look long towards Claydon.
Yeah, I think Brookshaw's on for them. Can't see
London
who's come
Brookshaw
off.
is on. Alirakia, I think, is the player to make way. So one change to Wealdstone,
right.
2 for Charlton. My team sheet will do well to last in 90 minutes, to be honest.
I've actually got mine in plastic, which has helped a little bit, but not much.
Ness with the throw all the way back to Hector. Lucas Ness will have it back. It's a risky ball looking for Alere, but it's actually gone over his head and gratefully into Jayasimi. Step forward in possession for the Addicts. Inside is Alere. Did have a loan spell here at Wealdstone. Hector inside to Fraser, who turns. Looks for the run of Jayasimi, who is onside. And just skids off the turf.
Yeah, the players are going to have to judge that, aren't they? As I mean, they had to in the first half. As the game goes on and the rain keeps going, judging those balls, any sort of balls of distance, it's going to skid off the surface.
Cook with the ball forward. Hector gets there first for Charlton, out towards Kanu. It's a little bit isolated. Does well to hold up the ball and finds Kirk, who was lively for Charlton in that first half. Inside to Henry, his first touch. Alere backwards to Hector. Fraser. Michael Hector once more. Looks for the ball over the top towards Egbo. Headed down. And as far as Kirk. Here's McGrandles. Backwards to Fraser. Out left it comes to Aaron Henry. Michael Hector once more inside to Fraser. He's allowed to turn. Finds Henry. To Jayasimi. Just stood on the ball and as a consequence fouls his opponent.
I'm not entirely sure how that happened, actually. It's quite a strange coming together there on this left-hand side. Jayasimi almost sort of ran into the Wealdstone player.
Claydon on the ball, loses out to Egbo, drifts forward inside the penalty area. Manny Egbo lays it off. Aaron Henry, first time strike, and catches it well. Couldn't quite find the target.
Maybe he could have gone, if he had the time again, a little bit more aerial. He was trying to go to the right of the keeper, wide right of the keeper, squeezing in between his right arm and his post and the post, but just screwed it wide. Maybe if he'd have gone a little bit more centrally and aerially, a better result.
Barker with the ball forward. We've got some good defending. Berrio still has it for Wealdstone now. Down the line. Mola finds a Berrio. Good challenge from Hector. The ball ricochets to Charles. Looks to switch the play, and there's Egbo for Charlton. Henry forward towards Kanu, lays it off for Egbo. To switch the play, but that's been denied. Wealdstone will have it with Dyer. Forward towards Brookshaw, the substitute. Foul comes in from a combination of Hector and Fraser, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Hector got the ball, but he got a fair chunk of the player as well, and they both sort of came a cropper, both feeling the effects of that little challenge.
The ball forward cut out by Ness. McGrandles back to Ness. Now Egbo. Forward towards McGrandles, who would have done well to get on the end of that. As Brookshaw loses out to Ness, good defending. Brookshaw does well to get back, although fouls Lucas Ness.
Might have been a little harsh, that one, I think. I mean, Ness did well initially, but yeah, credit Charles coming back at him and winning the ball back. A little bit generous, that free kick, maybe.
Ness goes back to Maynard Brewer. A lot to do with his hands, Maynard Brewer, in that first half, but a lot of sliding challenges and a bit of sweeper keeping. The Charlton goalkeeper in that first half. Ness has a loose ball inside, and Olomola will pick it up. Pressure from Hilaire forces it back. This ball's inside. Ness with the challenge, but still Wealdstone will have the ball. Here's Claydon. Inside to Dyer, looks for the 1-2. Ness does well to win the ball back for Charlton. Aaron Henry tried a nutmeg that didn't come off, and Wealdstone will have the ball. It's fizzed inside, Brookshaw. Dyer all the way back to Cook. Charles out to left. Mundell Smith. Goes back to Charles, and now Dyer. Loose ball forward. Kirk was unaware. Dyer looks for the diagonal ball across. Egbo heads away. Henry inside to McGrandles. Good ball forward to Kirk. Looks for the 1-2 of Fraser. That avenue's been cut off, but Fraser finds Jayasimi, who can advance forward. Steps inside. Now finds Henry. Out to the right to Egbo. Now Henry out left to Fraser. It's a lovely threaded through ball to find Jayasimi across towards Kanu, who couldn't get his feet right to connect the ball properly.
Yeah, it's a
nice
shame.
ball.
He did everything right. He made a faux run, if you like, towards a 6-yard box, and then just halted it and stepped a couple of backwards, but he still had to go backwards to try and get the ball, get to the ball. The drag back from Jayasimi. It's good football to get to that point. The ball was just a little bit behind Kanu, and he couldn't get enough purchase on the shot.
This ball forward is headed away by Egbo. Charlton in offside position, so Mundell Smith will collect. Left to Claydon, inside now. It's Dyer. And to the right to Cook. Inside is Barker. Steps forward with the ball. Now Dyer. Looking to advance inside the Charlton half. Finds Mundell Smith. Ball down the line to Claydon's a good one. Claydon up against Ness, his former teammate. Edge of the box is Brookshaw, first time looking for the run of Campbell. Hector's there not once but twice. He's fouled. It's good defending from Charlton's captain.
Yeah, on more than one occasion there as well. They tried to get through Michael Hector, but he was standing strong and standing tall. 3 important blocks there.
Hector, the Charlton captain, as I said, for this afternoon. Of course, Dobson's still the club captain. Hector, we imagine, will try and last to 67. Played 45 against Leyton Orient. Hector back to Maynard Brewer. Looks right towards Egbo, but that ball goes out of play. There's going to be more than one wipe on our camera, I can tell you that, this afternoon. Cameraman Matt's doing a good job.
It's so wet here, even that spider that above has gone running for cover.
Forward. Finds Campbell. Out left to Claydon. Good challenge from Ness, good recovery challenge, because Charlton almost caught out there. It's a throw short. On the edge of the penalty area finds Campbell, who turns, thinks about a shot and goes for it. And Maynard Brewer was scrambling across. Didn't want to take any chances.
Yeah, I think it wasn't entirely certain just how far wide that was going and whether it was sneaking in to the inside post.
short to Hector. Risky ball forward, almost cut out. Hector. His Maynard Brewer to go long. Looking for Kanu. Claydon heads forward. Bounces down. There's McGrandles with the first challenge. Does well to find Scott Fraser. Now, Hilaire, who can drift forward for Charlton. He's got speed as well. Inside to Henry. What about the ball forward? Cuts back and uses Kirk instead, but the ball's too far behind him.
Yeah, there was a moment there where Egbo had made his run and Henry had just had a split second to think about it and try and find him, but once that moment had gone and he had to step back, and then his options were limited after that. Almost had to try and force a pass out and got it wrong.
Ball forward, slightly loose touch by Egbo. There's McGrandles. It's inside to Fraser, but that's behind him. Barrier picks it up and Hilaire does well to get his foot on the ball. Now Giassimi bringing it forward for Charlton. Cuts inside. Charles has got something on the ball. Giassimi with the challenge, that's fair. This ball comes out to McGrandles. Outright to Egbo. Egbo with the cross. A little bit over the top of Giassimi. Kirk will keep this ball in play. Goes back to Hilaire. Here's Henry. He's got space to turn. Finds Fraser. Henry once more. Now Michael Hector. Manny Egbo on the right-hand side of Charlton's attack. To McGrandles. 1-2 with Fraser. McGrandles leave it for Fraser again. Henry drifts forward, but Fraser can't find the angle for the pass. Hilaire out to Giassimi. Takes no chances and keeps possession with Ashley Maynard Brewer. Hector out left to Fraser. Now Giassimi hugging the left-hand touchline. That's a ball inside to Kirk, which wasn't telegraphed. Wealdstone have lost possession. Charlton do well to win it back. McGrandles looking for Kanu, but Barker stays with him all the way. Out to Iberio. Hilaire too tight. Concedes the free kick.
Yeah, I felt a bit sorry for Kanu there. He made the run, but the angle for the pass gave him no chance at all to get there. Barker was comfortably the favourite. Kanu wanted it the other side.
Iberio, good challenge from Giassimi. Felt the consequences of that challenge.
I think he just rolled his ankle in the challenge.
It's Hector up towards Aaron Henry, who loses out as Barker looks to thread the ball forward. Well read by Hector. Ball forward looking for Egbo. Claydon does well to get something on it, but here's Egbo again for Charlton, taking on Claydon. Gets beyond him as well. Charlton want a free kick or potentially a penalty, depending on where Egbo received the contact. Egbo's now on the ground. As Wealdstone will continue. Egbo's off the pitch, so the referee doesn't really need to stop play here. Egbo getting back to his feet. As Ness forward towards Fraser. Bundled into his back by Charles.
That was less of a foul than the one he didn't give a little moments earlier, the referee. Right. Wasn't helped by the assistant over there, I don't think.
Charlton aren't giving Egbo or Kirk the opportunity to get to their feet. Kirk was doing his shoelace and players continued. Egbo just
We're only a couple
now.
of minutes away from the hour, so it depends on just exactly when the switch will take place.
Kirk out left to Fraser. Kirk continues his run and Fraser almost finds him. Cook does well to read it. Iberio towards Dyer. Now Charles.
I'll give you a bit Obiero the credit there. He did some great work to work his way out of that space.
Mola does well to keep that in, but good defending from Hector. And Wealdstone will have the throw.
Good to see Egbo back and not suffering any ill effects from that challenge.
Still 3-0 to Charlton as throw comes in. Ball to the right towards Campbell. Good challenge from Hilaire. He's having a good second half here for Charlton. Here's Kirk. Turns and finds Fraser again. Kanu is down the line. Kanu gets the ball from Fraser. Goes back to Giassimi. Inside to Henry. Now McGrandles. Forward to Kirk, and it's a loose pass to find Henry. Just a little bit of tiredness and sloppiness creeping into Charlton's play the second half.
Yeah, it's a shame. Maybe a case of overworking it. You had the opportunity to maybe make a slightly more insightful pass.
Dean Holden just said, come on, sloppy. So he agrees with us, which is a good sign. Doesn't happen often. Ball forward is cut out by Ness, who drives forward for Charlton now. Out to left to Kirk. Kirk does well to get the ball still for Charlton. Lays it off for Henry. He's closed down. Gives it back to Kirk. And they exchange passes once more. And they're right forward. Fraser on the back heel looking for Kirk, but Barker stays on his feet.
Fraser knew what was happening, Kirk less so in that respect.
Ball forward, looking for Campbell, who's being tugged back by Hector.
Well, I think they both had each other's shirt. I think Hector was the one that was spotted first.
Hector's not happy with that decision.
Well, because he knew that Campbell had a huge chunk of his shirt, which was clear to see, but Hector also had his arms wrapped around the Wealdstone man.
Charles switches the play across to Claydon. Down the line is Olamola. Well blocked by Manny Egbo. Wealdstone will have the corner. They'll need a new ball for that. Charles goes across to take. We'll take it short. Olamola. Backwards to Charles. Now Dyer steps inside Fraser. Ball forward towards Mundell Smith. There's Hector. Forward towards Henry. Look towards the left and Kirk. Wealdstone goalkeeper will find Charles. Goes all the way back with Wealdstone again. Charlton looking to apply the pressure. As the goalkeeper goes long. Hector gets something on him. Might come down to Fraser. Pokes it forward to Kirk. Kirk's in space here for Charlton. Carnew's across. Kirk cuts back. Now looks for Carnew, and then the challenge comes in. The last second by Dyer.
Yeah, and Carnew wanted that ball first time back by Kirk, but he wasn't quite able to get it out from under his feet, so he had to check and then try and do it. And by that time, there was defenders back there covering.
It's Cook inside to Charles. And the ball back to the goalkeeper's awkward. He does well to get out of his feet and clears it away.
He won't thank him for that pass, will he?
Challenge from Jayasinghe is a good one. We're approaching still probably another 5 minutes away before you'll see wholesale changes. It's quite useful for us too, because it's the opportunity that I get to hand over to you as well. So
yeah, thanks for that.
Perfect breaking play. As the ball's out on the left-hand side, Mundell Smith forward towards Claydon, continues his run, and he's got speed here. Claydon with the cross. It's a good block from Ness. He does well to follow him all the way.
Yeah, it's good defending by Ness. He's played well this second half. He's timed his interceptions for the most part perfectly, and had to keep up to pace with Claydon, which is no mean feat.
Corner to be taken by Charles again. John with everyone back except Kirk, as the ball comes in towards the far post and he's overhit. Charlton will have the throw.
It's a deep one. It's obviously, we know last season set pieces were a bit of an Achilles heel for us. I'm sure that's something that the club and staff have been working on. Extra height with Jones in there will help as the season goes on.
Yeah, certainly what we've seen so far in pre-season is defensively a little bit more stable, but attacking point of view hasn't quite happened for Charlton yet from corners. I think there was a couple of goals in the Welling game perhaps, but the last couple, Charlton have been a little bit wasteful. It's Cook with the throw. Challenge from Fraser, wins the ball back for Charlton. Here's Henry. Needs a bit of support, he's outnumbered, and Wealdstone will win the ball back. Olamola out to the left-hand side, and Claydon back inside to Olamola. Good turn. Brookshaw, the substitute. Seeing a lot of the ball, and now we'll find Mundell-Smith. Here's Claydon again with the cross. Takes the deflection off Ness, and McGrandles will find Henry. Looks at the diagonal, it's a lovely looking pass, but just slightly overhit. A little bit more narrow. The idea was right. Kirk has made some good runs off the ball. Barker on the ball for Wealdstone. Carries the ball well, Barker. Looks forward, but ran out of options, really. It was a hopeful ball down the line.
Yeah, almost cut off his own options by bringing it that far forward. He almost ran into his the two players who were the only two players who could have received it, and they weren't making a run, so the ball ended up going nowhere.
McGrandles to his right, to Egbo. Now Ness. One ball forward, looking for McGrandles again. He will give chase. Mundell-Smith is there. It's back to the goalkeeper, forward to Claydon. Inside now to Charles. Charles out to the right to Cook. Challenge from Jayasimi, does well to win the ball, but ricochet falls to Wealdstone. Wealdstone will be making a lot of changes as well, and the majority of them are just listed as trialists, which is always a dream. As Henry out to left to Jayasimi. Now Kirk steps inside and will find Fraser. Now McGrandles, now right to Egbo. Charlton create one more opportunity before we see the changes. Ness inside to Henry. Fraser and Henry again. They'll probably be a little bit jealous that the rain has started to just become more like drizzle. Brilliant play from Charlton. Here's Fraser out to the left to Jayasimi. First time cross is deflected away by the goalkeeper. Here's McGrandles inside to Henry. Now Ness again. McGrandles finds Aaron Henry. Hector stepping out defence, forward to Carnu. Finds Fraser. Hector again. Good football from Charlton. Here's Kirk with the cross towards the far post, but that's overhit. Ball out of play.
And that could be the indication of the wholesale changes, and it is. As we've got a raft of players from both sides coming through.
Well, we can tell you the Charlton team, and to do that, I'll hand you over to my glamorous assistant, Mr. Terry Smith.
Yeah, there's two words you wouldn't, or three words you wouldn't necessarily hear all in the same sentence. But I can tell you the Charlton side coming on. I'd imagine that a couple might hang on, but basically Harry Eisted is going to go in goal. Terrell Thomas is coming on. George Dobson, Alfie May. Aaron Henry's already on. I'd imagine he'll stay there, although he might be coming off as well. I'm just looking. But certainly Jack Payne, Therese Campbell, Corey Blackett-Taylor, and Zach Mitchell are all coming on. Deji's definitely staying now. Yeah, Aaron Henry is coming off. So, with the exception of Leroy, it's a completely new side. And the same can be said for Wealdstone. Nathan Ferguson is on, Corey Andrews is on, London Brookshire had already come on, Declan Phillips and Finn Harvey are all on the pitch, and then there are a clutch of trialists, so bear with us on that as we get the game underway. And it's Obiero who's still on the pitch for Wealdstone. Puts the ball forward and is straight to Dobson. Mitchell behind him. Corey Andrews in pursuit of the ball towards Eistes, but it comes out here to Leroy. One of the trialists for Wealdstone, trying to close him down. Meister gets the ball away. Strong header coming in from Obiero. There'll be a Charlton throw as a result. As the players head towards the dressing rooms to try and get dry. Take a few photos on the way.
Yeah, trying to work out if it's a bit more of a back four, this team for Charlton. Terrell Thomas might be playing left back. Mitchell and Airway centre half, Simway right back, and then a front three of Blackett, Taylor, May and Campbell. We'll wait and see if that develops.
So Airway goes back to Eisted. Shape to kick it out. It's a risky ball to Dobson, but Charlton get away with it as Dobson finds Mitchell. Ball forward to a Simway. And to his right hand side is Campbell. Ball in field to Dobson. Good run from Dobson, and he's got, he had Blackett Taylor outside, but it might run through to Anderson, who does find Blackett Taylor. Left corner of the penalty area. Attacking that penalty area, trying to get it onto his right foot, just showed too much of it. And Wealdstone can clear it forward. Mitchell, good tackle coming in there to win the ball back for Charlton. Payne sets up Dobson. Thomas, ball forward, he was looking for Anderson, just got too much on that. And Wealdstone trying to clear it away, but again, it's good interception from Alaraway, but he's stopped in his tracks by one of the Wealdstone trialists. It'll be a Charlton throw. 25.5 minutes into this second half. Thomas goes back to Alaraway.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like a 4-3-3 for Charlton.
Yeah, we did that in the last game as well, two different formations. That's a good header from Simway to keep the ball in play. Campbell trying to send Simway on his way again. Does and then slips, but still manages to get the ball back to Campbell. Infield to Anderson. Just had the ball taken off his toes, and Wealdstone can break here. So they're away against two, and he does really well to slide in before Andrews can just get there ahead of him. Good defending from Deji Alaraway. But he might have overstretched a little bit because he's still down. Referee just asking if he needs treatment, but Deji's saying no, he'll be fine.
He's had a really
good recovery challenge, that.
Yeah, he's had a good performance so far. Alaraway in the second half, the left side of back three in the second half, then dropping into the two now. He's got the pace, so Charlton can afford to step up at times with him in defence, because he can recover, he can get back and make those sort of challenges.
Cook for Wealdstone is now in a more central position since the changes. Goes back to his keeper. I think it's Declan Phillips. Cook once more. Swings it across here. Looking for Obiero, but Thomas gets there first, but concedes the throw in the process. Pressure from Anderson. And now Payne, as the ball goes back to Phillips. Sends it long. Obiero underneath this. Thomas can send it forward. Blackett Taylor might be offside, coming back from an offside position. Free kick to Wealdstone.
It'll be interesting to see Jack Payne as well in this formation. He's kind of given a little bit more freedom to play behind May.
Simway stepped in there, just couldn't keep the ball in play. Trying to get there first, yeah, and Payne, Anderson and Dobson in that midfield three.
There's certainly another opportunity for Anderson as well. I thought he played really well against Gillingham. He's someone who's clearly been impressing in pre-season, and watching him under 18 level, you always felt he was a player who could step up, and sometimes it doesn't happen, but he's someone who's so far in the minutes we have seen is someone that can develop even more. And it's quite exciting for him to see someone like Kamara come into the team, because you can look at his game and go, what's he doing that I'm not at this stage, and how can I get to those sort of levels to appear more in the first team.
Payne sends Blackett Taylor on his way. It's up against two men, Thomas in support. Payne once more. Sees spots a runner Campbell, but he can't find him with the pass. Just got the wrong angle on it. Wealdstone can clear. Mitchell again, tussling with Andrews. He wants to switch it to the left-hand side. Simway trying to stop that progress and gets a foot in. Still Wealdstone had possession. The ball backwards to two trialists combining on that left-hand side. Two of about six that are on there at the moment, and he just couldn't keep the ball in play. Charlton will have a throw, as we've had 29 minutes of this second half. Still 3-0 to Charlton, all 3 goals coming in that first half.
Yeah, second half has kind of panned how pre-season games do, don't they? When one half of the second half, and that makes sense, is teams recovering, getting towards the end of 60 minutes. And this is where you hope to see Charlton in the last 30 finish well. That's not a good example of finishing well.
Not entirely sure what Jack Payne was striking there, but it's far too much on it. There's no way Tyrrell Thomas was getting anywhere near that. Wealdstone have a throw. Pressure from May on the ball. Wealdstone play their way out of it. And that's with Jack Cook, the captain. Seems the captain in a second. It must be Dobson. Yes, it is. I'm just looking at the armband. And it is with George Dobson. Wealdstone send the ball over the top down the Charlton right-hand side. Mitchell going across. The ball comes off of Mitchell. The attempted cross. It will be a Wealdstone corner.
That was a neat ball over the top, but again, that's probably been one criticism of Charlton this afternoon. I don't think we've dealt with that ball over the top well defensively, or he looks a little bit out of sorts. Maybe a little bit understandable given it's still pre-season, but it seems like an easy thing for Charlton to improve.
Corner comes in. Tyrrell Thomas with the firm header away. Can Campbell catch up with it? Inadvertently, almost did as well, but it's good work from Blackett-Taylor as well in there. But give Wealdstone credit. They didn't let Charlton settle, and they've come back in the challenges and got the ball back to the keeper. Good pressure from Charlton, trying to pin Wealdstone in there, but they again worked it well, to their credit. It's a good stop from the Charlton captain. Campbell taking on his man, goes to ground, and the referee's going to point to the spot here.
Well, you've got to give enormous credit to Campbell, because what he does superbly well is he stays on his feet. There's good pressure initially from the Wealdstone man coming across, but Campbell stays on his feet. He's great strength. He gets across, and as soon as you get across your man and he continues with that pressure, it's a penalty because you're ahead of him. Campbell's goal side. And now another opportunity for Alfie May from the spot.
Yeah, we know that Alfie May had the opportunity at Gillingham to score from the spot. It was saved, and now he's got the second opportunity in consecutive matches. And he doesn't score on a first attempt, but he gets the second. Harsh on the keeper, who made the save down to his right-hand side from the strike. May kept his composure and managed to finish on the rebound to give Charlton a 4-0 lead here.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest of penalties again from Alfie May. Almost identical penalty to Tuesday night, in truth, but he'll be delighted that the fact it ricocheted back out to him. And it wasn't the cleanest strike in the world with the rebound, but he won't care. That's another goal added to pre-season for him. A bit annoyed that he hasn't scored back-to-back penalties. But
I'm wondering if that'll be the overriding emotion, actually.
I mean, the tip now is that it just don't go that way now. Yeah. If you've hit two that side that have been saved. Apparently, in midweek, he was saying he's trying to aim down the middle and completely scuffed it. So he'll be annoyed, but he'll be happy at the same time. Strikers will take goals any fashion.
Charlton had the throw after the restart. Tyrrell Thomas will go backwards. A streaky throw back to Alera, and it's put him in trouble, really. Charlton will still have the throw. Pressure coming in from one of the Wealdstone trialists on Alera. Manages to get the throw. Thomas this time into Anderson. Instant ball across. Brilliant. Looking for, well, I think he was looking for May initially, but it's thrown through to Campbell. He's taking his man on into the centre. May making a run through the middle. Out to the left-hand side is Blackett-Taylor. May still in the middle as Blackett-Taylor takes his man on outside. Little ball across. Oh, and it's a header coming in from Anderson's almost taking it off Alfie May, but Simway will retrieve it for Charlton on that right-hand side. Campbell in support. There's this Mitchell. Back and across and in the middle, Alera. He's got Thomas to his left. Blackett-Taylor still hugging the left-hand touchline. Will he go again? Shaping to go one way. Back to Thomas. Ball in field, cut out. He's going to run backwards to Alera. He's going to look for the big switch across to Campbell. That's a great ball. Campbell brings it down, looking to take his man on the outside now. Cuts back inside. Left foot cross, cleared away. Only as far as the Simway. Same way. Also looking to take players on, but instead it's Dobson in support. Anderson, good bit of foot movement, but the pass out is a poor one, picked off. Dobson trying to retrieve the challenge, then Anderson does, and I think the pair of them could have picked either one as a foul for those tackles.
Yeah, he's a little bit annoyed with himself, Anderson. It was a simple ball that he just completely scuffed.
The turn was great, just the ball didn't match the initial movement.
You're going to make mistakes, and you know it's how you react from them. What I liked about that, he got back to his feet to try and get back and make the challenge. Yeah, Tyrese Campbell's having a very encouraging and impressive performances coming on. He obviously won the penalty, but that diagonal ball wasn't an easy one to control. He controlled it, turned, got on the front foot straight away. He's someone that shouldn't be forgotten because he's got immense talent.
Thomas spots the crossfield ball and gets his header in there. Finds Blackett-Taylor. Thomas goes on a run. Blackett-Taylor touches it past his man. Still in possession, Blackett-Taylor, but he's got 2 for company. And just weight of numbers meant that Charlton and Blackett-Taylor couldn't progress, but the Yanks have got the ball back. They're away. The ball taken away from him, but it's a Charlton throw. Thomas with it. We'll go back to Wealdstone. I'm not entirely sure whether the wind has changed direction here in this second half. Anderson just makes room for himself, tries to go cross-field, diagonal towards Campbell, but that'll run away from Charlton's right winger.
Yeah, again, he looks frustrated with himself, but the idea is right. You know, if you make passes like that every single time, then you'd be playing for Man City. Sadly, you are going to overhit some. We've seen Aaron Henry, since he's developed, has got the ability to do similar and sometimes overhits them. It's the run and the movement. If you get it right, that's a good ball out. So it's a good idea. I like the fact he takes the ball and is direct and looks to go on the front foot.
Mitchell and Learaway almost going for the same ball there, and it resulted in a Wealdstone free kick, and they're coming forward now. Again, weight of numbers this time. Red shirts are in the way, and Dobson does well to come away and find Alfie May. He's always available for that pass out. Campbell to his right. Just cuts inside. Jack Payne in support. Dobson inside and then back out is Asimwe on the right-hand side. Nobody really inside of him, so might look to go past his man, try and get across. Drags it back then. There's a hint of a foul there just as he got past his men a second time. And that's agreed with by the officials. Charlton have a free kick 10 yards in from the right-hand corner flag. We've had 37 minutes, just 8 minutes left of this pre-season here at Grosvenor Vale. There's a capacity of 4,000 here. I can promise you there isn't 4,000 in here today, but the weather might have had something to do with that. It's been absolutely horrendous here most of the day. It's slightly easing off, although I'm loath to say that because last time I did it, it started chucking it down again. But we're having the weather that they promised to go to be in Manchester. I don't know what's happened there. As Payne prepares to take this free kick. It's just outside the penalty box. Drills it in and blocked. Payne will pick it up again. Inside of him is Dobson. Anderson making himself available. The switch comes across here to Blackett-Taylor. Inside to Thomas. He's going to go back out to Blackett-Taylor again. Well, he tried taking his man on the outside. He's got 2 for company. Outside was the only real option, but the ball adjudged to come back off Blackett-Taylor as he tried to go past.
They have defended him well so far, Wealdstone, on their right-hand side. Giving him a lot of space. You've seen on Tuesday night, he can be so dangerous in that final third when he gets going.
Well, again, on Tuesday night, Gillingham, up to a point, tried to cover him off by always having 2 men, one inside to stop him coming in, and then the one time they didn't, he came inside. Well, one of the times they didn't. He came inside and punished them. He has that ability. Wealdstone have it. Ball forward to the edge of the inside the Charlton box. Shot comes in, and that's a good save from Eisted. And that was Corey Andrews with the shot for Wealdstone. He got into the box, escaped the tensions of the Charlton defence. Instant shot, Eisted down with the save to keep the clean sheet for Charlton so far.
It's a very good save because it's low, it's by his legs, he has to stay on his feet.
Quick corner, it's taking the deflection again, and another shot comes in. And, I think that might have been the captain Cook who took that final shot. I don't know if he's hurt himself in the process, whether it was a challenge coming in or he just twisted in the turf, I'm not entirely sure. Leroy, of course, probably played with Cook last season. Brings him to his feet, and it is a Charlton goal kick. Leroy will touch this to Eisted. And does. Still will almost certainly have to go long when Andrews putting him under pressure. Ball forward. May can't get there. I'll run through to Phillips. Ferguson. Back to his left back and then all the way back to the keeper. May looking to close him down. Dobson trying to get to there first, but he's beaten to it by Brookshaw. That's good work from Payne, almost sending May on his way. Felt he was fouled. Referee doesn't agree. Leroy, another foot in, does well to get there ahead of Corey Andrews. Now Mitchell. Dobson, before Corey Andrews can bite in the tackle, gets it out to Asimwe. Back to Mitchell. He steps forward. And now across to Leroy. Good work from Mitchell. Thomas. Blackett-Taylor again hugging the touchline. Instead he goes inside to Anderson. Dobson has to avoid the referee to get to the ball. Does so. Thomas inside of Blackett-Taylor to touch it round his man. Finds Anderson in support. Anderson with Payne in the centre. Thought about a shot. Tries to find Anderson again. Good drag back. That's a great finish. Karoy Anderson with some lovely footwork. Good football all round from Charlton to work the space and work the opportunity for Anderson. He still had a lot to do and he turned away from his man and slotted it past the keeper for 5-0.
Well, to receive the ball like that on the half turn inside the penalty area, then with your weaker left foot find that far corner, that is not easy at all. We spoke about his talents, but that is something maybe in the final third we've not seen as much, because that was wonderful from Corey Anderson. That was pure class. Good build-up play. Payne with a neat ball inside, but the pace of the ball from Payne made it difficult to take a touch and shoot going back towards, with your back towards goal. So Anderson, a lovely turn and finds that far corner. Brilliant finish. And there's another talent coming through the academy.
Well, you were singing his praises earlier on, and rightly so, as we have done, I think, as I have, as everybody has who's seen him come through the 18s and 21s. And there's just a glimpse of what you can expect from Karoy Anderson. 5-0 to the Addicts here. And, it's been a good afternoon for Charlton, and credit to Wealdstone. They put us under pressure at times, made us work hard, and that's exactly what you want from a pre-season friendly. I think Dean Holden will be more than happy with what he's seen this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a perfect pre-season friendly in terms of it's not been perfect for Charlton. In terms of there's a lot you can take away and think, oh, we need to work on this, or this isn't quite right. But going forward, especially, some of the movements, some of the passing has been really good and really encouraging. You can see some of the patterns of play that Charlton have been working on, and that will please Dean Holden. So, in a way, it's a perfect because you're learning, but equally you're seeing things that are working on the training ground come off as well. And you're seeing youngsters continue to impress as well, which is another wonderful thing.
Well, Mitchell felt he was fouled there. I tended to agree, and I also thought they came off the Wealdstone man last. But either way, it's a Wealdstone throw as we approach the final minutes of this pre-season friendly. 1.5 to be exact. The ball forward. Dobson will challenge. Payne comes away with the ball. Finds Campbell. Campbell looking to switch it across towards Blackett-Taylor, but didn't have enough on it to do so. Now Asimwe back there having to tidy up for Charlton from the through ball, and does. Hoisted forward to Mitchell. Asimwe available again on that right-hand side. Got space to run into. Nathan Asimwe over halfway. Looking to pick a pass now. Campbell to his right. Charlton quite happy to recycle it as we head into the final minute. Anderson. Nice did. Ball to Dobson, turns away from trouble and Brookshaw. And now Anderson will look for the run of Thomas on this left-hand side, but again with the zip on the surface in what has been at times a fairly torrential afternoon. Skips away for the Wealdstone throw, which I suspect might be the final action of this game, even though I've got about 10 seconds or so on the clock. So when this comes in, I wouldn't be amazed if the referee doesn't call a halt to proceedings. Referee Samuel Hall. He's not blowing yet as the ball is sent forward. Mitchell with an important header. Dobson to Alero, to Simway in the centre. Carry on here as Campbell picks out Payne. I guess the referee might have stopped the watch for the mass substitutions, which is why we're still playing. Thomas. Blackett-Taylor ahead of him. Just leaves it for Blackett-Taylor, who's got Alero away, and then good movement from Anderson. It's good football from Charlton. Ball forward, looking for a Simway. It's good control from a Simway. Tries the little flick with his right foot. Didn't come off. That would have been a lovely goal and a lovely finish if that come off.
I think that would have made Anderson's look amateur.
Lovely movement, good control, just didn't have the finish. We'll come on this right-hand side. Obiero, ball across, it's going to be picked off by May. Simway in support, ball forward to Dobson. May on the move again. Trying to pull through to the run of Campbell. It was blocked away before he could get there. Carry on, we're into a minute of added time. Unheard of in a friendly. Mitchell for Charlton. Looks for the long ball through, a spot of the run of Anderson. He's just going to run ahead of him and out of play. And that is the final whistle. The referee now does call a halt to proceedings in this pre-season friendly at Grosvenor Vale. And Charlton have run out 5-0 winners here. The action started. The opening goal came from Lloyd Jones on 19 minutes. Some lovely footwork to finish. That was a good move from Charlton. And then a minute later, Panush Kamara got his first in a Charlton shirt to make it 2-0. Again, lovely football and a lovely finish. And Scott Fraser, probably the pick of the three. Sweeping move down that left-hand side, and he was on hand to finish with some aplomb after 26 minutes, and that's the way it stayed in the first half. It was Alfie May who got the fourth with a rebound from his own penalty on 4-0. And then Croy Anderson with what ultimately is probably the pick of the goals to make it 5 with a lovely half-turn and finish after a good move, which opened up the Wealdstone defence. But it's been a good friendly, I think, and we'll talk to Dean Holden afterwards to get his thoughts, but I think he'll say that it had everything. It had a battling Wealdstone who put us under pressure at times, gave us a tough test, but played some good football, scored some good goals, decent run out for the whole of the squad. So all in all, apart from the weather, it's been a good afternoon, Greg.
Yeah, definitely tell. I always enjoy it. Watching teams progress through pre-season into the league, you start noticing patterns and what certain things are working, what isn't. And what I was really happy with, Tel, is the manner and the majority of the goals that they came from runs from deep. Jones's first goal came from him advancing forward into a space when he wasn't involved in the build-up, but he was there. It was a composed finish. Kamara's second, it was a run, great finish, don't get me wrong, but the run was brilliant off the ball. The third, again, Fraser from deep, making the runs. Anderson making runs in the penalty area. And that's how you get your goals. If you've got the opportunity to advance forward, you get into that space. The quality of finishing was there from Charlton as well today. TJ hit the post. There's a couple of other opportunities. But Charlton should be pleased with today. As I said, there's things you can see that they're working on and will need to improve. I think defensively, we still don't look completely assured. We're still allowing opportunities or half chances. But I think with a little bit more experience on the pitch, a little bit more minutes as pre-season progresses, the partnerships will start to develop hopefully, and maybe a couple of additions in the transfer window before our first game of the season. will help this squad really develop, because it's, as I said, it's a little bit, got a little bit of momentum going into this season, a little bit of feel good with the fans and everything going on with the club at the moment. So fingers crossed we'll see another good performance on Tuesday night, and then the Saturday against Aberdeen before we get into it.
Yes, don't forget you can join us again on Tuesday night. It's away to Millwall. It's penultimate pre-season friendly, and then the final one at home to Aberdeen next Saturday. We know you had some problems logging into Charlton TV to watch us at the beginning. We hope that didn't detract from your enjoyment of the game when you did finally get to watch it. So apologies for the slight technical hitch at the beginning, but I hope you enjoyed the result, which is 5-0 here from the home of Wealdstone Grosvenor. But from myself, Greg, from Matt on camera, thank you. From Diana Beckham production at the Valley, thank you very much. From all of us here at Wealdstone, have a very good rest of your weekend. Take care and join us again on Tuesday night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
What are they saying, sorry?
First time into Fraser. He's got Fraser the chance of Charlton the third. It's not good. Full forward, finding Fraser. Fraser. When they go with the finish.
Yeah.
That's for Darcy now. It's continuing his run. Darcy! Down to Kamara. Leaves it off from the Bradles. Back to Kamara with the cross. Darcy with a header. Drifts forward inside the penalty area. Echo lays it off, and Henry first time strike and catches it well. Goes for it. Was scrambling across. First attempt, and he gets the second. His composure.
He's looking at the corner.
Drag back, that's a great lovely football. Good football all around from Charlton.